Hi guys, welcome to NAVI CS2 YouTube channel. I'm here with our IGL Aleksi right after Blast Sprint groups, which ended on such a positive note. We're so happy that you guys gave us such a pleasure as a victory and finished that tournament at qualifiers undefeated. Hello.
Hello, pleasure to be here.
So, let's talk a little bit about everything that was going on during the break and the first month of 2024. First of all, tell us, how did you spend your holidays?
So I spent my Christmas holidays like I usually do. I feel like it's a sacred time for me and my family. It's usually this time of the year for the last 4 years at least, where I know I will have some time off, where I know that my family is usually there, where I know that we're getting together to eat, to share anything we have going on in our lives. And it's just a time where I feel like I can finally relax. So yeah, I just spent the time with my family, with my girlfriend. And after Christmas, the New Year, spend some time with my friends, hanging around in the gym, just honestly taking some time off of CS and just resetting my mind for the next year.
Did you succeed? Like, did you manage to reload before the tournament?
I feel like I did, even though we only had like 2 weeks off. I mean, 2 weeks off is a pretty long time, but in the end, when the end of last year was so hectic and we spent a lot of time abroad, and I knew that this year will start with almost 2 months off. Mm-hmm. When you have 2 weeks off, in contrast, it's kind of like nothing, and it goes away so quickly, especially when you're spending time with your loved ones and like finally getting out of the CS bubble to real life. Time goes so quickly. To
real life, to real people, time flies. And then the bootcamp started. Tell us a little bit about where you had like 2 parts of the bootcamp, as far as I know, and tell us about it more.
So we ended our holidays on the 5th of January, or I traveled on the 5th of January to Barcelona. We had our first set of bootcamp there for a bit over a week. Mm-hmm. We introduced new stuff from Ula, our psychological mental coach, and just kind of set the mood for this year. After that, we arrived here in Copenhagen for the closed qualifiers of the RMR. Mm-hmm. We ended up still boot camping here like 4 days or 5 days before the qualifier. So we kind of like wanted to arrive here in a time that we have time to adjust if there's problems with the internet, if there's problems with the PC or just the environment. And yeah, we spent like 4 or 5 days here before the closed qualifiers, then we played it. And after that, we headed straight to the spring groups.
I can hardly name another Tier 1 team who decided to make a bootcamp in the start of the season, before the start of the season, before the quals. Even though a lot of big teams, they've been playing this closed qualifiers. Why? What standard behind that decision in our case?
So some teams, especially some top teams, already qualified for the RMR. So they didn't have that first tournament of the season online, qualifying for the RMR like we did. And obviously we like that is really important to us as CS players and overall like just wanting to be at the major. And we know like if you take some time off during the Christmas, the first tournament is an online qualifier to the RMR. Things can go really badly really quick. So we took it serious and we played for 2 weeks before that qualifier. And I think that's also a case where that time also brought us some momentum to this tournament as well. Like we're really sharp as individuals right now, and maybe that's also the fact that we've been playing pretty solid. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes you sacrifice some time to succeed, and now I think we made 100% the right decision. And yeah, I feel like everybody's happy with the results now. But yeah, I mean, playing online, first tournament to the major, you need to take it serious.
You've mentioned that Ula was working with you how to, to set this right mood to work. Maybe you can share any insights, or what do you need to do to be focused, to stay focused after holidays?
Yeah, I mean, we introduced a couple things from Ula, mainly just routines in our everyday life, like starting the mornings together, and we do a couple different exercises for the mind, for the body, just to wake ourselves up. And just the fact that there are a lot of esports players, even though I'm like saying it like this, maybe it's going to like a better direction, but I do like the fact that we're doing something every day, because when you build a routine like this, I feel like you're gonna be more alert. And I feel like it's definitely helped us, and it's not too much you need to do. You just need to sacrifice a bit of time every day, especially in the mornings, just to wake yourself up. And yeah, we started it from Barcelona all the way up to today, and it's been really nice. And at the same time, Ula's been having some one-on-ones with every player, at least 3 with me, in this 30-day period almost. And yeah, I feel like we're all getting to a better mindset. But obviously everything's easier said than done. Like, we've been winning all our matches right now, so everything feels pretty smooth. So as soon as there are gonna be some bumps later down the road, it's important how we handle that. And I think Ula will come in handy when that happens. But as of right now, everything's going really well.
Still, the right start of the year is a very important thing, and it's good that we have this opportunity. All right. We don't need that.
No, we don't need the microphone.
Of course. All right, let's talk about the quals. NAVI haven't been playing the online qualifiers, at least. Not talking about COVID times, online qualifiers since 2018. Do you remember when you personally last time played online qualifiers?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I played a Blast group stage or something like this with the G2 lineup when I joined G2. Then I also played 2 or 3 online games with the NIP lineup after the major, but I felt like the team was dead at that point. Like, it was the most miserable games of my career almost. And yeah, we played them from home, so that felt like playing proper online, because with G2 we played from Bootcamp, and now we played from Bootcamp, so at least I'm with my team. So during, like, I don't know, the past 3 years, I've only played a couple games from home. Like, my setup at home is really bad. So I kind of keep it as a joke. Like, I have a 10 euro IKEA table. I've had it since I started, so 6 years. And the thing is, as soon as I go home, I'm playing on a pretty bad setup. But I feel like it's always giving me like a confidence boost whenever I go to an event, because then I'm immediately playing with a better setup, so everything feels nicer. So
that's like a training.
I don't bath myself with luxury when I'm at home. Maybe someday when I move out, or I actually bother to do something about it, but at least right now I find it funny.
You don't spend much time at home to have a proper setup, you don't need it actually. You need to rest at home. But that is funny, that is a nice tip, that you don't need the perfect conditions to be good at LAN. All right, even though it was online qualifier, you were all together here still. Did everything go according to the plan? Because the result, it seemed like everything went pretty smoothly.
Yes, I would say everything went according to plan. We did start a bit slow on the online qualifiers. We started really slow on the first game, but we ended up, like, we have this mental switch, or we have this click that sometimes comes into play. Sometimes a bit too late, like against VP we were losing 1-9 and 1-8 on the other map. At least we have this switch, like when we switch the sides, or whether it's one important round we win, and everything just flips immediately, and we start actually playing our game. But to be honest, we need to get out of it. Like we need to flip the switch a bit sooner, because if we let really strong teams get a head start like that, in the long run it will hurt us, right? But at least we're showing good mentality, at least we're showing good resilience, because we're making good comebacks, and that's really important as a team. But yeah, at the same time, it wasn't pretty at times, but to be honest, we're pretty much only lost one map this year or something like that. It's pretty crazy to me, because we made so many comebacks. But maybe that shows some progress as well as a team. But yeah, it's been going well.
Do you know what provokes this flip? When everything goes wrong and then something happens, like only the switch of sides, or something else that helps you to switch?
I feel like the mood in the camp isn't like, it's not a graveyard if we're losing 1-8. Like I remember against VP as well. Like even, like sometimes it might be a different guy, sometimes could be me or someone else, but you know, like against VP we were losing, I don't know, 1-8 on Anubis or something like that, and we won like around like 2-8. And like I kept saying, because I know the map so well, that every round on CT is so crucial, because I feel like we have a strong T side and you can always make the comeback. That, you know, like I was saying, nice, like let's go, like 1 more, 2 more, and we can work with it. But you know, sometimes I might be too focused on the game itself or what I'm calling, that I need that someone else to chime in, and maybe sometimes it's you stick, sometimes like Valeriy and Ihor are usually pretty silent. It could be Mihai as well. But I feel like the team, like we might be in a hole, like in a slump during the game, but usually we get out of it. And it's a really good sign, because I've played in teams and I know how CS works. You can like dig the hole deeper and deeper, and it's really hard to make a comeback. But at least right now we're doing solid work with that. Like we don't go too deep into the hole, and we're making comebacks.
But you make all your fans nervous, and
that's true.
Yeah, on the edge of heart attack. But we love it, to be honest. It seemed like, especially again in the game against VP on qualifiers, that some of the players feel more comfortable on the one maps, another one feel more comfortable on other maps, like Im on Overpass, JL on Anubis, for example. Is this the case? Like, do you feel like some of the guys likes one maps than another more?
Yeah, I do think so. And I do think that there might be maps that some individual might not like as much. Maybe they didn't play it too much on their careers, or maybe they're playing a certain spot that feels hard to play, or you're not really in the action too much, or you know, a slight mistake might cost your team the round. At the end of the day, it's a team game, and on some maps you might play a spot that's harder than others, or some maps someone else might be playing the spot you want to play, but you need to make those sacrifices for the team. And I feel like we have a good combination in the team, that I feel like no one is getting into each other's toes. Like if we're losing a map, no one is thinking like, oh, you played your spot bad, that's why we lost. Like we're in there as a team. If we lose as a team, and that's the most important thing. And yeah, I feel like we've been getting repetitions, we've been doing the practice, so everybody is getting more comfortable. But when you play on stage, especially when you play on stage, those nerves, and if you're unconfident, it will show. So I just hope that we will get enough practice in before the big games, and when we get to those, I just feel like we're gonna be comfortable enough to just have a smooth game, even though you might not play on the best spot, you know?
Wonderful seems to be very stable, and he's been in the team for 3 months, but it seemed like he never had this period of adapting to the team, or problems with adapting to the team. He's one of the best players after qualifiers. I didn't see the stats after Blast. I didn't have time to watch it, but still, Ihor is doing really great. What is it like from your perspective? How is he doing inside of the Blade system now?
Yeah, I mean, Ihor has been a real surprise to me, because I don't think anyone in the community, like anyone in CSGO, has had bigger shoes to fill than him. Like if you're gonna replace a player that was considered the greatest player of CSGO, and the new game comes out and you have all these fans around the world like watching the team because of one player, and then you replace him and you're a young guy with not too much experience, like it's gonna be hard. So I think all respect to Ihor with pulling it off. I feel like, I mean, maybe it's too early to say, but I feel like he has done a tremendous job. He's molded himself into the team. He's not as shy anymore as he was at the start. And just the fact that he's handling all this pressure and he's really like having a lot of impact on the server. And I just feel like as the months go by, he will gain more and more experience, and he just needs to grow a new chapter of him where he's taking even more responsibility and just keep making the plays as he's making.
Do you see the progress? Because he is obviously a very talented player, and statistically wise, he's amazing. But do you see his progress in terms of working with Blade and his system? Like, do you feel he's progressing in theory, let's say, like that macro game?
I do feel like so, and I do feel like that in Blade's system, and like he's gonna call you out, like if you're making mistakes, or if you're not making the correct decisions, if you're, you know, making too high risky plays like that can cause us the round. Like even though it would work, it can cause us the round. I think he's gonna say it, and I think Ihor has been on both sides of the coin. Like sometimes he says he really wants to do something, and we know he's comfortable doing something even though it's risky, and we let him do it. And at the other times, he might be picking up something from someone else. Like someone else might say, like Blade or me or Justik can say something, and he would be like, oh yeah, maybe that's actually smarter. It's like when you're young and when you have that much talent, it's really important that you can listen to others, you have your own vision, and the combination is like what's growing you forwards. Like if you only work on your own vision and you never listen to others that might have the better experience, it can come in costly. So I feel like he's doing a really good job with that, and he's adapted to the system really well.
Okay, let's talk about Blast. It's been this is like kind of a low pressure tournament for most of the teams, because it's not like the tournament, it's like qualifying to London, and we did that successfully, thank God. Yeah, what teams did surprise you? Because we've seen Falcons here, we've seen Astralis with Vitality, a lot of good teams, like a lot of Tier 1 teams performing for the first time in 2024, some of them after reshuffles and changes. So who can you like know, who you noticed, and can you talk about more?
Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised with Falcons for the fact that they pushed, I believe it was Vitality, to the edge. Like they could have maybe taken the series. They had, like, it was a really nice game because there was a lot of banter between Magisk and Apex, like they, you know, were ex-teammates and whatever. But yeah, as you told me previously, because I forgot about Astralis completely. Astralis also maybe, I guess, was the biggest surprise, because they obviously built this kind of Danish dream team, you would say.
Again.
And people were kind of like Cloud9, people were questioning, like, could it work? Like, this could be the greatest team again, and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like
they're going outside right now.
Yeah.
Full squad.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like they definitely made a name for themselves. They won Vitality once. They, on the other map, other match, they lost 1-2.
They lost 1-2, and they lost on Nuke, and the Nuke was pretty bad from them.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they really, I feel like every team is taking them like super serious when it comes down to their potential now, and they didn't have even too much time to work with. So I think we're gonna see a really good Astralis this year, and yeah, maybe they will be the most dominating from all these new teams.
Yeah, I mean, they almost won the best team in the world right now. So that is something. I think, yeah, that is going to be very interesting to look up for them. Gamer Legion won FaZe, and Cloud9 was not a good surprise for their fans. What do you think about the Cloud9's roster and their flop at this tournament?
Like, they're a strong team. They have really good players. Like, I feel like when Electronic transferred from IGL to Rifle, he's shown again, like he's was the top 3 Rifle, I would say, in terms of impact and in terms of like decision making and just the raw, I feel like, skill he has that he's feared on the server. But I feel like they might have some problems with the AWP role.
Yeah, Boomich performs with AWP and pretty solid, but still you agree that the stable AWP is missing in their team?
Yeah, I kind of feel like the stable AWP might be missing because they're changing it up based on what map they're playing, or maybe just the feeling they have before game. I'm not exactly sure. But at the same time, maybe they can make it work, maybe they can make this style work. Like before this tournament Blast, they were playing pretty solid. And now you could say that they didn't play the best tournament now, but at the end of the day, this wasn't the end of anything. Like they just fell down to the showdown now. Maybe they were trying out some new stuff this year. Maybe they're more prepared for Katowice, who knows? But to me, it's like they will have these tournaments at the start of the year, and I think that's gonna dictate, are they gonna continue with it or are they gonna make changes? But I do still think that if you play a series against them, you can never think like, oh, they played a bad tournament at Blast, like it's gonna be an easy win or something like that. I feel like every time you play against Cloud9 or the core of these players, it's never gonna be an easy game.
Yeah, it's always dangerous for sure. No, you can never underestimate players like that, definitely. Let's talk about the game that just ended yesterday against G2, a rematch that seems to be even, I don't like to say easier for you, but you seems to be even more prepared for them this time than previous, even though the veto was different. So what do you think about that game? We've seen you playing on Inferno and Mirage, and both maps were pretty confident for you. What can you say about this rematch, and how was it different from the first game here at Spring Groups?
I think just the first game, I feel like we played a really bad Inferno. And for the second, just for the rematch, we just prepared on Inferno way better. I think that's like the biggest detail. I knew that the veto was gonna change. I was pretty sure about it because I know some of the players and how they feel like. You could say that it was a bit easier because we won 2-0. But at the same time, they're a really strong team. Like if everything clicks, they can win anyone, I feel like. But at the same time, we played really strong this tournament. And as I said on the HLTV interview previously, I didn't care that we won them one time because we still ended up playing another rematch. And if we would have lost that, we would be in the last chance spot, right? And I just wanted to make sure that we try to win these strong teams when it matters. And now when we had a qualifying game, when it actually mattered, we ended up winning. So I'm really proud of that. But at the same time, yeah, it's never easy. Maybe we had a bit of better preparation than last time. But yeah, I feel like we were really confident. I feel like Valeriy, when he plays against Ilya, they're always like battling who's the best on the server.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that Ilya has improved so much. Like to me, it's crazy how much impact he has on the server right now. I believe he, I don't know, killed me like 15 times and I killed him 5 times. Obviously we have a bit of, like we have different roles, but I just felt like every time he peeks you, like peeks me, it's just like so instant. And I remember I played with Ilya when he came to tier 1. Now I can see his face and the way he plays is like way more confident, and I feel like he's gonna be really dangerous this year.
He's gaining more and more experience with every tournament. Still, you said that m0NESY was killing you instant, but you had this amazing clutch against NiKo and m0NESY, two biggest, powers in G2.
It's on Aleksi, not the sniper of the team at all. The captain, looking to see if he could save the ship. m0NESY walking into the other side, and he walks right into it. He can't believe it. And through the smoke now, he hears it. He knows. Aleksi,
run, Aleksi!
Make his way out. He's around the corner. He's escaped. He might have done it, Henry. Aleksi nowhere to be found, and NiKo desperate. He hits the headshot.
Did the experience of playing with them help you at that moment? Did you realize what are they going to do?
No, I don't. Any two players I would be against in that scenario, I would play the same way. I mean, it was the only way to play the situation. Ended up winning the clutch against them. Bit unfortunate they didn't have money for kits, I feel like. Otherwise, that clutch would be way harder. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy I won that clutch, but at the end of the day, solid game by us.
Of course, of course. You've played Mirage in this particular rematch, although we didn't see this map from you for some time, let's say it like that. We see Overpass more, Anubis more from you. So did you have any second thoughts about that Mirage? Did you, I don't know, maybe not nervous, but yeah, were you confident in your Mirage now?
I was really certain that they're gonna ban Overpass this time. And I'm always confident on Mirage. I feel like it's been a map for a long time now that I feel really comfortable on. Mm-hmm. Not saying I couldn't lose on the map, but I just feel like if I join the server and it's gonna be Mirage, I have a decent feeling how to play the map, how to play the game, even without any preparation. And I felt like we didn't have any preparation against them because they had 2 games, I believe, played on Mirage. Mm-hmm. And they didn't play too many rounds on those games, so not too much data. And they didn't play it for a while, so maybe they, you know, had a bootcamp and did lots of new changes or new rounds or whatever. So we just went with what we felt like is gonna be our comfort. We had our game plan, and it ended up working really well.
There is an information that you won 18 games out of 20 against your ex-teams. Ants, NAP, G2, OG. Mm-hmm. What can you say about that? You definitely seems to know something when you play against them. Is that the case, or is it just a coincidence?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence at all, even though it might sound arrogant or something. But I do think that, obviously, if you lead a team, like imagine yourself leading a team, and you kind of know the style, you know what you brought with you, you know what you've seen stay in the team if you watch them play after you. As a leader, you always have the confidence, you always have the knowledge, and I think that helps me a lot. And I feel like the times I've lost were times when, against my old teams, were times when no one of the team I even played in. So it was a completely new team. It was just the organization name. But yeah, I mean, it does help me. I mean, the number wouldn't be 18 out of 20 if it didn't. So yeah, definitely helps me, but again, it's never easy. Maybe you have that bit of extra fire in you that you want to show. But I try not to think about it too much, because you need to have that fire for every game. You need to have that mentality for every game. I remember though, like, when I got benched from my first team, so ENS, maybe those rematches were way more important to me, because I only had that one team I played in and I wanted to show them. It was
pretty dramatic.
Yeah, but now it's like, I've been in 4 teams now or whatever I'm playing against, so I don't really think about it too much anymore. Like if I'm playing G2 now, I don't even think about it too much because I played in NIP after G2. Or if I play against ENS, like none of my teammates are playing from the ENS days, so I don't care at all. They're just organization name and that's it.
Yeah, true. All right, thank you so much for your time. Katowice next. You have some couple of days off before traveling there. Are you ready for the tournament? Do you feel tired? Do you think you will have time to reload?
I do feel a bit tired, but at the same time, yeah, I'm trying to relax today. We're gonna practice a bit tomorrow, then we have a travel day to Katowice. Yeah, I feel ready. I do think that it's not going to be an easy tournament. The teams are gonna have more info on us, on how we started this year and what to expect from us, so we need to keep it fresh, we need to keep grinding. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it and I feel like we can do some real damage.
It's going to be so much fun. Katowice is always one of the best tournaments through the year, always. And guys, we will have a fun sector in Spodek Arena. You can find more information in our info box below this video. So yeah, register. You need to fill in the form. It's going to be so much fun. We are going to organize the full sector for NAVI. Hopefully, we will we will see you in Spodek, but I have no doubts we will. So yeah, go below the video to see all the information. Thank you for watching this video. Follow us on YouTube, write something down in comments, and see you in the next videos. Bye.
Thank you guys. See you.